Okay. Well, it's been a while. Hope everyone's doing alright. I'm actually going to make a video here, and I'm going to walk along with you how each of these add-ons are going to change, because if you know, those of you who don't know, the Executioner, aka Pyramid Head, is getting a rework on his add-ons, finally, with some good base kit changes, and also a few not so great, but we'll get to that. But let's go right here. Yeah, that way he's not breathing so loud. I'm just gonna pull this up here. I have an empty. I do not have an empty build thing. Oh well, this will do for now. But I am just going to quickly unequip all these perks. And don't mind my phone. I apologize for that loud. Okay, sweet. That's just let me know that someone else went live. As you can tell, I watch Twitch as well. Alrighty. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm the Silent Executioner. I play Pyramid Head. I have most of my hours into Pyramid Head since I've played. I've been on and off a little bit in the past 8 to 9 years. Although I have watched Dead by Daylight since its beta. And, well, without further ado, I'm going to pull up the, all the changes, and I'm going to go over them and then give you all my thoughts and opinions all together. So, let's see here. Boom. Alrighty. Here we are. Okay. So for the Executioner, aka Pyramid Head, we are getting several base kit buffs. Some of those being, his range right now at the current moment is 8 meters, and typically if we were to add add-ons, we would buff our range. We would add add-ons, but now we don't have to do that anymore because now it is going from 8 meters to 10 meters. And if you're curious what that is currently right now, that is a mixture of Burning Man's painting, and a lot of people get the misconception of Wax Doll, but Wax Doll is actually meter, so that for that it would be 10.5 meters, but it's really just Burning Man's painting and the Black Strap. So we're getting these two add-ons base kit for Pyramid, which is great. Thumbs up. Yeah, a lot of people kept on saying is this, even though it would technically be better, but it's still pretty good, just with these two add-ons, base kit, and it's gonna be very nice. You're gonna be able to hit more often than you think, and you don't have to run really an add-on to get those distances. So, which is nice. You're adding this completely base kit, and then they are adding all the duration add-ons, base kit. They're adding even more 2D than the add-ons, because if instead of a 5-second power, what you could get is a 7 seconds. We're getting a whopping 10 seconds to our duration, which is pretty nice. Allows you to draw more and also potentially zone more, but they're nerfing the zoning part, and I'll get to that here in a few points. Or actually, next point, actually. So that is another one of the buffs, and then as I said, they are making Mannequin Foot base kits so all your trails last longer. And then they are decreasing his movement speed while dragging the sword, the Punishment of the Damned, from 4.4 to 4.2. Me personally, I don't like this change. I don't think it's absolutely necessary, and I get why they're doing it, because they don't like the mind gaming of am I going to use a power, am I not. But me personally, I enjoy doing that as Pyramid Head, and also enjoy Pyramid Heads who do that, because I love that mystery of, oh shit, is he going to get me, is he not? Some people find it annoying, boring, which I guess I get to a degree, but also at the same time, for someone who wants to show skill impression / RNG, I don't think the zoning part / mind game part should go away fully. But that's my opinion. Um, Another thing which at first I did not like this at all, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's okay. But they're basically giving the base kit endurance off the hook to his cages, which for me, I was very devastated at first, very upset. Um, which sucks because you can't just straight up down the person getting off the cage and then go after the other person, get that pressure. But the nice thing is you can still do that. And even though, yes, now hooks or not, you get the base kit, borrow time / body armor, endurance, and haste. But it's still, your cages are still good because it still counters majority of survivor meta perks that involve with hooks, either themselves unhooking themselves or unhooking others. So it is very good. Counters dead hard, adrenaline, off the record, decisive, deliverance. I can go on. There's just so many things. The cage is still countered, so it makes it very good. Another nice little quality of life. They made it so that transitioning of using your power is a lot smoother. It's supposed to be feels very much good between the transitions. It's not clunky anymore. And excuse me, taking a drink of water. Another thing that is very good for the Pyramid Head that is going to be coming in the next patch is you no longer need to hold down the button to send someone to your cage or use Final Judgment. And every once in a while, this which is great because it means one, you're doing what is quicker than hooking already and quickest killing a survivor, even quicker. And less kind of fidgety, because there would be times where I'll be right over a survivor, and because they either move or whatever, because even though I hit the button to start the thing, it'll cancel because they move. And it's like, god dang, I had to readjust to hold down the button again just to send them to a cage or that. So there will be no more of that bullshit, which I love. Like, thank you, devs. Or that they made so that you get more blood points for caging survivors, which, thumbs up, I like blood points. And I want to feel rewarded for using my power and sending people to the cages. So, thumbs up there for the devs. But other than that, the only thing, like I said, my big complaint is this movement speed debuff. But, you know, with some of these add-ons, and now they're going to be useful. The only one that did not change, heads up, spoiler alert, Crimson Ceremony Book. Which is fine, because this is still a pretty good add-on. Whenever you hit a survivor with the Punishment of the Damned, they apply the Hemorrhage and Mangle, which is Sloppy Butcher, for 80 seconds. Which is 10 seconds less than Sloppy Butcher the perk, but I still think it's better than Sloppy Butcher the perk, personally, at least for Pyramid Head. So, without further ado, I am going to go to... We're going to start off with the lead ring. And I'm going to pull up the lead ring right here. So, you're going to see on the screen what it currently does now, before the patch. After the patch, the lead ring will increase the range of the Punishment of the Damned by 25%. And for those of you who don't know what 25% is, that is of the Punishment of the Damned, that is 25 meters. But then it decreases the Punishment of the Damned's width, so it's going to be very thin, by 25%. So it's going to be a little bit of a skinnier Punishment of the Damned, but it'll hit a bit longer, which, okay, it's a nice little fun, gimmicky perk, although it is definitely a lot better than what the lead ring is now, so thumbs up there. Although, you might see this there for, meme builds and shit, but other than that, it's not the strongest, but it has some synergy with some of the other add-ons, which we'll get to here very shortly. Overall, great. Our next one is the Dead Butterfly. Here's what it does now. Here's what we'll do after the patch. It will increase the rights of the Rights of Judgment recharge rate by 10%, which is like your power recharge, which is pretty nice. Although I'll say, in the PTB, his recharge is super fucking slow. So if you really don't like that, the new Dead Butterfly will be great. Although there's other add-ons I think that's just more worth it in my opinion. And I hope they do, before live release, they do increase his recharge just a little bit, just because it is very kind of painful in the PTB. But other than that, pretty good add-on, better than what it is now. So can't wait to play with it. The next one is the Copper Ring, which is very good duration add-on. Now it is now increases the maximum duration of the Rites of Judgment by 5 seconds, which is a new variation, which is very nice. Which is a bit more than this, but it is, I think, your only duration per add-on now in the new change. We'll continue on for the video. See if there's any more, but I'm certain this is the only duration add-on now, since they made most of it base kit. And next one, which is going to base kit and now is completely changed, which is the Black Strap. It will decrease the punishment damage range by 25%, so it'll go back to about like 8 meters, 7.5 meters. And it will also, but it will within your punishment damage by a whole 25%, which is a little bit bigger. So and the thing that's going to be nasty about this add-on compared to another add-on we'll get to later in the video, there's some hallways that are just the perfect amount of size for this thing, where you pair that with another add-on, which we'll get to, like I said, later. It is very nasty. Like, no one basically can escape you if you're in particular hallways and certain maps, or certain parts of the map where it's very narrow. You shouldn't be missing anyone with this add-on, at least up close, although they, like I said, it does decrease your range, but if you're up close, it's going to be very hard to miss. Overall, pretty good. Our next one is the Wax Doll. Used to be a range increase add-on. It increases it's actually still a range add-on, but it's now 5%. So it now increases by 5 meters. So, pretty nice. Although, like I said, there's better, and we'll get to that later. But overall, still range add-on. Like I said, there's going to be multiple range add-ons, to my surprising. But, yeah. So that'll be the new Wax Doll. And then you have what was an old duration add-on. It is now a information add-on. So, when a survivor is released from a cage, you get to see the aura of the rescuer, the person who uncages the other, for 8 seconds, which is pretty good if you're trying not to tunnel, but Pyramid Head doesn't not tunnel, he tunnels. He's kinda like the king of tunneling. His whole design is that. Even with the new cage nerfs, it's still kind of like his place. Like, I mean, it's nice to know, okay, avoid that guy, but yeah, I mean, like I said, it's good information if you want to do an information build, but there's better add-ons. They give you information, and I don't see anyone really ever going after a person who went uncaging unless you're able to somehow down them and then go straight for this person. But that won't really happen anymore. So, like I said, overall buff a lot better than what it is now and before the patch, but it is still not that great. Next one is the leopard print fabric. So its new effect, and yeah, thank God we're getting rid of all the freaking Killer Instinct add-ons. I just wanted to point that out there. Just thank fucking God. Never get used. Now it's going to be better. It decreases the stun duration while holding down the Rites of Judgment, which is holding down the sword. And it's okay. The nice thing is, okay, yeah, I get a mini enduring / mini, but it specifies any stun. So it doesn't matter if it's a Palace stun. It could be a freaking perk stun and nor flashlight stun, which is, I guess, the nice little niche thing about it, because we don't have anything really much like that in the game. At least not since original Enduring, but, yeah, I mean, will this be run? Maybe, for some niche purposes, but other than that, it is probably not going to be, like, ran all the time. But it's nice now you got a perk, or not perk, I keep on calling it perk, my bad, add-ons that now reduce the stuns, not for pallet, but also flashlights, etc. So, pretty good. Our next one is the the Forgotten Videotape. Now, this one's one of my personal favorites. I've been wanting something like this for a long time. If any of you all watched my stream on Twitch TV / Sonic Executioner, but make sure it's a dash for my Twitch. But yeah, which is increases the punishment of the damned travel speed by 10%. And it seems very minimal, but it is very good. And you know, it makes the makes you get hits where it'd be a miss, turn to hit. I can't wait to play with the new Forgotten Videotape. I think it'll be one of the main ones I run in the future. Hopefully they don't nerf it. But I'm very glad they finally have a travel speed add-on, because I think Pyramid has been needing that for a very long time, for the past 5 years. So needless to say, I think this is one of the best add-ons he has in the new rework. There will be a few more I'll go over here in a sec, but sorry about that, that was one of my cats. I don't know if you all heard that. But yeah, and then about ready to go for another good green add-on, and that is Cinderella's Music Box. And this will decrease the punishment of the damn cooldown by 10% now. Now, for those of you who don't know what that means when you use your M2 attack, you fire off your Punishment of the Damned, where Pyramid Head already has the quickest M2 attack compared to other M2 killers, because most M2 killers have the cooldown of 2.5, which is kind of like base, but Pyramid Head has the cooldown of 2.3. So he is faster recovery than all the other M2s. Now, 10% don't seem much, but it's just enough where you can get another nice M2 attack, and it encourages you to go for more shots, and I love this. Absolutely love it. Again, this is another one of my new probably favorite add-ons to be, and is probably one of the higher up best add-ons on him in the future if you're watching this. But yeah, can't wait to play with this, try it out. Next up is the Valiant Sect Photograph. Now the new effect that one does, which is very gimmicky, and in my opinion, I don't know what the heck the devs were thinking when they remade this add-on, because literally there's other add-ons. The next add-on we're going to go talk about is going to do better than what this does. Don't know what I'm talking about? Well, here, I'll explain this, and I'll explain the next add-on. So now, for each person who is tormented, your terror radius is reduced by 2 meters. Now you think, okay, that's nice, you can make Pyramid Head's terror radius shorter when you have more people tormented. Okay. So you minus 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, minus A2, A32 radius. Alright. Well, next add-on is going to make this add-on look like a joke. And that is Tablet of the Oppressor. Now, Tablet of the Oppressor will now do, instead of being a duration add-on, while you're holding your Rites of Judgment, drawing your trails, having the sword in the ground, you gain undetectable, meaning you have no red stain, no heartbeat, you're completely silent. So it is, if you want to be stealthier and surprise survivors, run Tablet of the Oppressor. Do not run this add-on in the future / now, whenever you watch this video. But yeah, yeah, Tablet Oppressor is going to be a much better stealth add-on. So, and it is another one. I might mess around with in future. I can't wait to try it out. You might get some funny gen grabs, although you shouldn't be because you can hear a sword being dragged, but some people just can't hear well and they don't have headphones. And it's quite funny when you're able to get Yoink on Pyramid Head, which I have a bunch of videos showcasing that, and it's just satisfying just to get a Yoink from any killer. But definitely Pyramid Head when he's like loud. But yep, other than that, we'll move on to the next add-on, which is the Misty Day Remains of Judgment. This one now is when you injure a survivor with your Punishment of Damned, it reveals the aura for 8 seconds. Now, this is a pretty good information add-on. Oh, I hit you. Now I get aura on you to line up my next attack. Very good. Very strong, and like I said, it's one of those. It's a lot better information, and it more benefits you for playing the way you need to play Pyramid Head, is using your M2 to get those hits and just be able to line up on their hit. So this will probably be one you'll see a lot more often. You can argue it's probably one of the better add-ons, like his best add-ons, but it's definitely not terrible. It is very good. Yeah. Next add-on will be now the new Mannequin Foot. Now, Mannequin Foot will now, when people get in the rights of trails, they become exhausted for 10 seconds. Now, interesting fact, which they do not say in the add-on text, is if you are still, as a survivor, are still walking on the trails, it will refresh your exhaustion, making you exhausted again. If not permanently exhausted, if you just do no walk on the trail the whole time. But and it wasn't until after you leave the trail you get the 10-second countdown. But yeah, it's nice. Honestly, you would be okay buffing this add-on, I think, personally, to like 30 seconds. But that's just me. But it don't seem quite that worth. And if it's not 30, I argue like 20 to 25 seconds. So, alright, pretty good. A lot better than what it is now. Brainsman Painting. Oof. Well, this used to be the best range add-on. It is now going to be when you miss a Punishment of Damned, you see the aura of survivors within 3 meters for 6 seconds. So this is only really good if you're like trying to shoot someone on the other side while you miss. It can be good in that scenario, but majority of the time, if you're going against good survivors who are facing you and you're a good Pyramid Head player, they are most likely going to leave the loop. Now they want to continue playing the loop. Okay, they will try. You will eventually get them, if not by your M2, or you'll just mind game them by zoning with your power. It is not bad, but it's not the greatest, in my opinion. But overall, it's alright. Next one is one of my new favorite add-ons, and I am so happy they reworked this. Fuck this Killer Instinct add-on. Now it is now officially, and it has a unique effect as well. So now what the new Scarlet Egg will do is survivors affected by torment will spawn Rites of Judgment, which is the trails, right behind them while they're sprinting. And then those trails only last for 5 seconds, but anyone running behind them gets infected, and survivors can potentially accidentally sabotage their own teammates, get them tormented, to spray more torment. And another thing that some people may or may not know, if you pay attention to PTP, but this gives you better information than this add-on, and arguably, hold on, where is it? I was just talking about you. Where you go? Hold on. Where'd you go? Oh, at the moment, I am having trouble finding the add-on I was just talking about, here. But, shit. Oh, wait a minute, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Duh, Silent. But yeah, so it's basically it does what Misty Day of the yeah, better information than this and this will be, because you can actually see these trails like you do in game. But Survivor, say you're being looped at Shack or any tile, you get to see where they're moving. Just follow the trails. So it's not exact aura reading, but it is good enough where, yeah, you're not only tracking survivors, you're spreading torment, and you're potentially infecting everyone else with torment. There's a lot of good things with this new add-on rework with Scarlet Egg. I hope the devs don't nerf that, but it's very strong. Okay, next up, and I apologize for that little goof up there, but you know what? We're only human. So, Rusted Colored Egg will now, when you hit Survivor Punch a Jam, you get 30% of your power back when you successfully hit a Survivor. It's okay. I don't know. It's definitely better, but I'm not sure it's like the best. But it is what it is. Book of Lost Memories. Well, it still has something to do with Oblivious. But now when you hit a, but this is from the Trails. Well, now this is an M2 base, so when you hit someone with the Punishment of the Damned, you now inflict Survivor Oblivious, but now for 80 seconds, which is a long time. And it's pretty good. It's a lot better. Is it the best? I don't know. But, they're not going to go over Crimson Ceremony Book because it's not been changed. Now, the Obsidian Goblet. This one has a very unique and interesting new rework. It's a lot better. A lot better what this is. Yeah, I'll tell you that much. So, new Obsidian Goblet makes it so that way your M2 can now destroy pallets and breakable walls. But, there's a downside. Your cooldown on your Punishment of Damned is now 20% longer, which is noticeable, especially with the movement speed debuff. It's very, they gain a lot of distance, so it's just good add-on. Is it strong? Depending on the scenario, you could technically make that better with the new Cinderella box, which, you know, make it so that it's just a minus 10 instead of a minus 20, which is a little better. But yeah, it's just overall better, obviously. But you'll definitely run against this at some point. I think in a way it's better than most of the add-ons. But yeah, it's very fun. I love it. I hope maybe they decide to not make that as punishing, because since we already are losing the movement speed, and just making Pyramid Head just more slower just for using its power. I don't like that effect, but hopefully they change that. Last but not least, I know this has been going around on YouTube a lot, with the cool little shots and stuff. Just basically, if you don't know what this add-on does, it decreases your punishment dam by 50%, so making it a 5-meter punishment of dam, so a little thingy. But, excuse me. Alright, let me restart that again. So what the new Iridescent Seal Megatron will do is decrease the range of the punch of dam by 50%, which is 5 meters. But by dragging your sword, which they nerfed you, by the way, by your movement speed. So when you use up all of your drag, all your sword, put all your rights of judgment across the map, you're now then able to then fire a punishment of dam that is 200% further. So that, for those of you don't want to do math, that is basically 20 meters. So pretty good. You can get some really good, nice snipes, and you keep this until you hit someone. But after you hit someone, you have to restart the whole process again of completely draining your power. It is definitely fun. I have seen a lot of videos, confirmations, shorts. It's definitely fun. Some people say it's broken. Me personally, yes, it's nice and satisfying to get those long distance shots. Is this game breaking? No. By any means, no. Like I said, there's much better add-ons, I think, personally. Doesn't mean this isn't, I'm not saying this is bad. It's still a good add-on. I don't think it's as good as a lot of people are kind of stoking it up to be. Which, it may end up getting this fun add-on nerfed for no reason, really. But, yeah, I mean, overall, I like all the new changes for Pyramid Head. The only one, like I said, I do not like is the movement speed debuff. But who knows, they may or may not keep it, because everything is a PTB anyway. And same thing goes with some of these add-ons, so who knows, they might change. But for the most part, I hope most of these changes do stay. And they are very much welcome. So, other than that, I do hope for those of you who are watching this on YouTube, I hope you do leave a like, comment, subscribe, and, yeah. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions on some of these add-ons, and, well, I'll see you all in the fall. Sonic Executioner. Signing out.